Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for joining our free online lesson. My name is Nabi Fikri, an application engineer from Acad Systems. So for today's free online lesson, I would like to share you about the freeform modeling, or for this case, we can call form, which is inside of Fusion 360s and also inside of Inventor. But for this case, we're just going to focus on the Fusion. So this will be the agenda that we're going to cover for this form modeling inside of Fusion. Right, so first of all, we're going to go into the form interface, which is inside of Fusion. Then we're going to create the form. So there are multiple ways that you can create forms. Then we can manipulate the form. So there are a few editing tools that we can do to modify our shape to make it different shape. Lastly, we're going to go with some of the application demonstration on what we can do with this. So let me share my screen. So currently, this will be my Fusion interface. So to start with freeform modeling, so first of all, you can go to the create button right here. So there are create freeform from here. But if you don't see it, you can also find from the create down here, then we have the form. For example, if let's say I'm open up my data panel here, so I cannot see it, or I can go to the create here, so it's still available from the create form. But to start, so I can just click create form, and automatically it will bring us to this form interface here. So we have create here, so this is where we can create, start adding our form, and most of our job here is to modify, to edit the shape of the form. So for the start, so we have create. So there are multiple ways that we can add the form. So we have the primitive shape that already provides, such as box, cylinder, and so on. You can also extrude it if you want to. For this case, I'm just going to use box. And then once I click box, it will ask you to select the plane that we're going to add the box. So I'm going to select that plane. And similarly, I need to create a sketch for the shape first. Then we have our first shape here. Right, so take a look here. So this is my box form. So there are curvature around here because it's actually a smooth type of modeling. Right? So form is actually a smooth type of modeling. This is what we call as a conic shape modeling. And then what we see here, we can specify how many faces that we want, what are the length. Right? So maybe I need 3 faces. For the length, maybe for the width, I want 4. Right? So maybe for the length, I want 3. So I can just specify the value from here. You can also specify the height, the width, and also the length by entering the number from here. Alternatively, I can also use these cursor buttons that I can choose from here. So if I click at the arrow here, so it will allow to move, to change the size of what I want. If you take a look here, something like a pin here, also have an arrow inside. So this one allows me to increase or decrease the number of faces. Right? Alternatively, you can also change the face from here. So for this case, once I'm done, I can just press OK. So that is the first thing. So if I want to add more type of different shapes, so I can just go from the create here. Maybe I can add some cylinders. So it will create a cylinder type of form here. So maybe the shape that I want is the shape that I would like to sketch first, and then I want to extrude it. So for that case, I can just go down here to create. So we have extrude, revolve, and so on. Right? So I can just create a sketch first. Then I can extrude that particular shape. And it will convert into a form modeling. So I can go here and I can extrude. So I have this shape here. For this case, we're not going to do much of this. So for this case, I'm just going to proceed with the box here. Now, if you take a look here, so any change that I made inside of the form will not be recorded because it is actually a smooth surface modeling, right? So something like an organic shape, so it will not be recorded, right? So you can see here, so we only have one form, so I cannot go back, I cannot change the value from here. So that is the nature of using the form modeling tools. So if I go back to finish form, so I can still use some of the features here where I can use to extrude, to cut the form that I created before. So for example, if I click here, and I should be able to cut this, right? Or maybe I can also join them together. For this case, maybe I want to cut. So you can see you can still use that cut features rail, or you can also add some modifying tools, maybe add some fillets. So it should be able to work with the tools that we have on. So right now, why do we want to use a freeform modeling? So the reason why is because it's actually allow you to create a smooth type of surface and allow you to freely manipulate the face, the line, and also the point. So for this case, I'm just going to create a new one. And I create a box. And from here, again, I can just specify the number of faces, the number of the line here. But so the more face, the more point, the more line that you have, the more flexibility that you can control. So how do we can control this? So when I press OK, so from here I can control using the modify tools. So I can click at the edit from here. So under modify tools, so we have several other tools that we can use. So the first one, I would like to edit this form. So I can select edit form. And then the first one, so this allow me to select the faces, or I can also select the edge, or I can also directly just select point only. And this point will pop out this gizmo button, right? Or this transformation button here. And this allow me to manipulate the shape here by using this arrow here. So I can just move it around. Maybe I want to select this face here. I can pull this one up. I can rotate it if I want to by using this rotate button here. So that is some form that we can do from here. So let's take a look on how we can use this transformation better. So first of all, so you can just select the face, or you can also select edge. And we see here, there are multiple things that we can do. So for example, if I select this face, I can move, right? So I can rotate, like I showed before. I can also scale up. And we have different types. It just allow you to scale from. But sometimes there are too much button that we can select from here, and it might interfere or obscure the button that you want to select. Maybe I would like to select the move button, but it has been blocked by a different button here. So we can also filter out the transform mode from here. So currently it shows us multi, which is all of the transform here. So if I would only want to move, so I can select translate, so allow me to move only for the X, Y, and Z axis. If I would like to rotate, so I can select rotate, so it will give me the rotate function from here. And also give me scale here. So I can just select any that I want. But so for this case, I'm just going to leave it as multiple. Other things that I can select from here is that I have the ability to coordinate the shape that I have from here. So currently, if you take a look here, it's actually coordinate based on the world space. The meaning here is that it will follow the X, Y, and Z coordinate that I have on my cube here. So if I go back to home, maybe I will select this face right here. You see the Z is actually up, X. So that is the first, which is world space. So other things, I can also select view space. So basically the view that I see from here. So if I click view space, so this is what I have, right? So this is the Y, and then this one is for Z from my current view. if you want, you can select from. So other things that we can also do from here is that we can also select based on the face here, right? So for example, if I will select this face, right? So you can see that maybe I would like to directly on top of this face here, the coordinate of my gizmo. So for that case, I can select selection space. So when I select this, so it will directly 45 degree from the, directly 90 degree from the face here, right? So this is if you want to use selection space. So if I select this one, so you can see it is actually Z is upward from that face instead, right? Instead of my workspace. So it's very useful. So other things I can also select local. So this is quite similar actually. However, this one will allow you to select based on my previous one. So if I select this selected surface, I can select multiple faces here. So I can click Control, then I can continue to select. Then you will see my face here will change. So it will try to cover for all of this orientation. But if I select this one, it's only going to show me the first one. So maybe the first one is this direction. If I can continue to select everything, it will continue to follow from the first face orientation from here. So that is the coordinate space. Other things, other than that I can select from here is the selection filter. So this is where I can select what type of selection that I want. So currently it's set to all. So I can select the face, I can select the edges, I can select the points. So I can select also the vertex from here. So it will only allow me to select vertex. So this one is quite useful if you have problem to select the vertex because might be too many faces. So you can filter out all of that and only show you the vertex. Then we have edge. So I can select edge from here. So I can select face, so it will not allow you to select anything other than face. And I can select body, so which will select all of the body. So if I would like to move it, so I can use this option. Now I can also select multiple. So for example, if I select the let me just set back to all. So let's say if I select all, and I would like to select this one, this line, and another lines. So I don't want to do it one by one. So what I can do is that I can just double click, so it will highlight everything. So same goes with this one. I can just double click, it will highlight this one. So double click the face, it will highlight all of the face. So that is some of the things that we can achieve. So other things that we can manipulate from here. So here we have soft modification. So this one is quite useful if you would like to have faces which is will follow from the area that you have selected. So if I have many faces from here, so let me just pick with multiple faces. Let's say I'm just gonna give it around 6 for each of these. Once I have this, I can modify it. So I can just select this point, for example, then I can move up. And you see it only move up until it tried to select this one as well. But this one is quite sharp. Maybe I would like to make it smooth, so everything will be followed as well. So if I just select everything, so it might not be the result that I want. So what I can do is that I can use soft modification instead. So when I select soft modification, so I can select this point here, then you will see that this point here also highlight, right? So this one is for points. So if I select face, same goes with the selection here. So the point here will be highlighted in red, which will be affected as well. So if I try to move this one, red will try to make it smooth connection. So it's not sharp like we done before. So that is some of the things that you can do. So you have options whether you can specify the distance, you can reduce it if I want to, maybe only 40 only. Or in this case, maybe I make it 100. So the more face that you select, the more that area that it will cover. Say I'm going to 200, so it will move more, maybe 300. And other things that you can select, you can also select from face count. So I can select maybe one only, one other area to be effect. So I can select another face count, so I can select one. And then you will see here, we also have the color red here, while the outside here is a bit dim. So this indicates how it will affect. So the higher the color, so the more effect that it will follow. So you can also control that by using the weight here, where I can increase the weight. So you will see that everything will be followed. For this case, it's not ideal. So maybe I want to reduce it back, so it will become much more smooth. Other things that we can do from the edit here, so we can also add a selection options. So maybe I select this face here. So instead I'm selecting one by one each of these. So what I can do is that I can select row, so I can increase or decrease. Maybe I'll select this line here and I would like to increase the loop or decrease or all, or maybe I just want to use different type of line here, so I can use ring instead. So this is different things that you can filter out the selection. So that is a bit on the edit the form. So under the modify here, so there are more things that we can do, such as insert edge. Maybe they are not quite smooth enough, and you might need to add some more edges. So you can go from here, and then you have insert edge, right? So I can select here, and it will add another edge from here that I can use it to manipulate. So this case only give me one line, so I can also select multiples, and it will select and create edge for the entire line. So from here, I can use this to manipulate the area or direction of line from here, the location. So I can also insert for both. And once I'm done, I can click OK. Then it will change the shape. So that is adding lines. Other things, I can also subdivide it. So if I select here, 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 then you will see, so this face will be subdivided. And I can click OK, so it will be subdivided. Right, maybe I can add some more here as well. And then I will subdivide, and I can press OK, and it will subdivide. Now, when I subdivide it, then you will see that it tried to make it more sharp. So if I undo here, this is smooth. Add, so it becomes sharper. Maybe I don't want to change that. So I just want to subdivide without affecting the smoothness of the shape. So what I can do is that I can select insert mode to be exact instead. So this will add the face from here and also add another face for the surrounding, so that it will still stay the same for the smooth area. So that is the subdivide, insert edge. You can also add points if you want to, so you can simply do something like a divide based on points. So alternatively, I can also cut the area that I don't need, so I can just delete it. So it will become a hole. So if I would like to fill in back the hole, so I can use the fill hole from here. Right, so not actually quite effective here because we have multiple faces. So let me just undo that. So other things that we can do, we can use this edit form to move it outside. But let's say if I don't want to move the area of the outside of this box here, I want to create another shape which is extracting from this face here. So we can also extrude it. So to extrude it, you can click and hold alternate key, and then you can move it. Right? So you can move it while clicking at the alternate key. So you can also do something like this. Right? So to click, we can add some more faces from here, alternate key again. So if I just simply move without click, so it will move. So if I click alternate, so it will add some, right? Then from here, I can also add more faces by clicking the alternate key. So it will automatically continue to add some faces. So let's go back to the modifying. So other things that we can do, we can also unweld the edge. So basically we can divide it. So maybe I want this to be two sections, so one parts and the other parts. So I can select this edge and then I can divide it using the unweld edge. So when I select the unweld edge, so I can press OK. Then I can basically move it, this body here. Oops, let me just select the entire body instead. Then I can basically just move this body. Yeah. Right, so there might be some area that not being cut here. Right, so might be area that still connected. I'm not sure. So I need to basically divide that face area as well. So probably there can be connected to this area. So I'm not sure. But that is one of the things that you can do, right? So maybe I would like to divide this area, right? So I can just select this area here. So again, this one is not fully divided. So I must make sure everything is divided. Then I can select unweld edge. Then I can basically move this one up. Right, so if I would like to combine them together, so other things that we can do is that we can use the merge. So merge basically is going to connect them together. So one group to the second group. So it will connect this. But maybe I don't want to connect this. I would like to add some more faces. So that is what we call bridge. Here I would like to add a bridge. So let me just move this one down here a bit. So to add a bridge, so I can select bridge instead. So instead of trying to merge this edge to edge, so it will create a bridge. So I can select bridge. I can select one side. So 1, 2, 3. Let me just select all. And then the second side, everything as well. Then I can press OK. Then it should create a bridge over here. Then you will see that it will create a line here. So how many lines? You can also control that. So when I click bridge, I can select all of this, and for the second side as well. So I can add more faces. Maybe I add 6 faces when I click OK. So we have more faces which is connected. So that is the bridge. So we have weld edge, weld vertices. So this one allow you to combine a point to another point. Maybe I would like to combine this point to this point together. So I can use weld vertices. So this point to this point. So it will be connected together. But other things, I can also make it sharp. So you can see most of our face here is quite smooth. Maybe I would like to make it sharper on some sections. Maybe somewhere around here, I'd like this to be sharp. So for that case, I can go here and I can select crease. So crease will allow me to make that section to be sharp. So I can select crease. It's like this edge here, then you will see that that area is become that edge become sharp. So okay, so it will become something like this. So if I would like to add some more, then I can just continue to add more creases. This area, maybe these two areas as well. Okay, I think I'm not selecting the crease. We just crease. These two. And I can press OK, so it becomes sharp. So that is the function for crease. Right, so if I want to undo that, so I have uncrease, right? So this one basically allows you to uncrease that area. So that is modifying tool. So many things that you can do from there. So other things that you can select from the form here is that we have utilities. So this one basically allows you to simply see what the shape would be displayed. So maybe I click to show the box, which is, by the way, this is not actually the real size, so not the real shape. So when I press OK, if I go to finish, so it's still smooth like this. So if I would like to make it sharp, then I need to use crease. Right. So let me just slide back to smooth. So other thing that we can do is that we have also symmetries. Basically, if I would like to have one section of face to follow the other directions to be the same, so for that case, I can use symmetry instead. Now, for example, if I have a box, this, and what I would like to do, let me just give some more faces. So what I would like to do is that I would like to have these sections to affect this section. So for that case, I can use symmetries. So for this case, let's say I'm going to use a mirroring tool and just select one face to the other face, and it will automatically find the mirror line there. So you can see here it's dividing into two sections. Then I can press OK. So anything change that I made, it will affect to the other side as well. So I can use this to edit the face. Let me just filter back to all. So I can select this area. You can see that one will able to move. Same goes with this one. But if I would like to extrude it, again, I can just select here to extrude. I can hold alternate key, then I can select to extrude. So if you see here that the extrude is not combined together, it's actually a separate extrude. So if you like to extrude them together, for that case, then you need to make sure to select the other side as well. So I'm going to select the other side, then I hold the alternate key, then I can basically extrude this face as well. Right, so that is basically what you can do from here. So that is basically symmetrics. Maybe I would like to have a symmetric lines, something like a mirror. So I can use mirror duplicate instead. So it will create on the other plane. So for this case, I don't have. Okay, so let's say I want to mirror downwards. So I can find under my origin here, planes. So I would like to flip it downwards. So I can go back to symmetrics, mirror duplicates, and I can select mirror planes, and it will create a duplicate downward. Okay, so for some reason the line is not visible. Okay, so it will flip downwards. So that is how you can use the freeform. So again, I can just go back to finish. Then I can just basically continue to modify using the solid to extrude, maybe surface tools. So I can just continue to work with this. So again, anything that you made using the freeform, you cannot undo the editing step. So if I go back to form here, I cannot undo this, right? So it will not re-record this one. So I need to manually turn this one down, right? So maybe I want this, so I can just manually turn this one down. I can then delete, and I can just refill in back using the fill hole. So that is things that we can do with the fill hole. So that is pretty much our session for this free online lessons. So I hope this is useful for you guys. And I hope I can see you guys on our next free online lesson. So have a nice day and bye-bye.